Hey, PStats people. So my question is 12 an outlier in this data set using the 1.5 outlier rule? There's two outlier rules we have to talk about, but the 1.5 one is the one we use all the time. So here's how it works. I found my 5-number summary, minimum, maximum, quartiles. Quartile 3, for the 1.5 rule, I need IQR. That's the 1.5 rule's IQR rule. So I'm going to jot this down. IQR, it's Q3 minus Q1, so it's 5 minus 2.5, so it is 2.5. This is my IQR. That pen is real thick. I'm going to make it a little more reasonable for the future. So to find IQR, to find this rule, there's two rules, the standard deviation rule and the IQR rule. I'm going to move these up, move these down for the time being. I'll just briefly talk about that at the end, but so you have two boundaries. You have the upper boundary, which is the blue, the lower boundary, which I'll just call red. So, I'll do the blue one first. So I need to take my third quartile, which is 5, plus 1.5 times my IQR. My IQR was 2.5. That will give me an upper boundary. So I can just use a fancy little calculator. I'm pulling out my phone right now and type this thing in. 1.5 times 2.5 plus 5. Okay, 8.75. It's a beautiful 8. Cool, that's my upper boundary. Now we're going to work with red, and I'll do my lower boundary. So I take Q1, which is 2.5, and go minus 1.5 times my IQR. That's going to be, again, fancy calculator. We'll do 2.5 minus. Oh, I said 25. Huh. Okay. So negative 1.25. So these are my boundaries. What does that mean? It means if the points are out of bounds, then they're outliers. So if you think about it, the blue boundary is somewhere up here at 8.75. 8.75 is not a point. It's not an outlier. It's just a boundary. The red boundary is way down here at like negative 1.25. So there's no low outliers here, but there is an upper outlier. This 12 is considered an outlier. So if I made a box and whisker plot, that would show as a little point at the top. So I'd have my whole box and whisker, and then I would show as an outlier. That would be the 12. So you do have, that's how you see outliers. The other method is you could just find your two boundaries, your blue and your red, by taking the mean plus 3 standard deviations and the mean minus 3 standard deviations. You have to find standard deviation and mean in your calculator. I'm not going to do this one because I just suggest not using it. It's more like an eyeball rule that we use later in the course. The most important outlier rule is the IQR rule because it goes with box plots. IQR is literally on a box plot. We're making box plots lately. So if we're talking IQR, we're talking box plots. If you're checking outliers, that's the one you want to check. That's most of the beginning of the year is going to be that one. Cool. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.